Welcome to day 6. I didn't know where my inspiration would come for today, but this is me editing day 5. I'm already contemplating a lot, so most of the time, life isn't lived on stage. It's lived in the quiet corners where nobody's clapping, nobody's watching, no one's noticing you, and nobody even cares. And that's where most of us give up. Because if nobody sees me, then what's the point? If nobody watches my video or praises my work or validates me, then why should I even bother showing up? And I get it. I'm sitting here, it's day 6, and honestly, half of me doesn't even want to be here right now. It's 10 p.m., and I'm not a night owl. So for me, my brain shuts off at 5 p.m. And I know that I have to get this video done, and it's gonna get buried. It won't be seen. It's probably gonna get forgotten once I post this. And I know deep down that that's the test. That's the muscle. That is the work. Because it's not about who's watching, it's about you watching yourself. We've been trained to believe that our value shows up in the spotlight, in the big moment, in the highlight reel. But the truth is, most of our life will never trend. Most of our days won't go viral. Most of our efforts will look small, invisible, quiet. And if you can't handle that, then you're never gonna get to the moments that will actually change your life. Think about it. Every athlete puts that extra time off the court before they ever get to play in the game. Every musician rehearses in empty rooms before they ever get on a stage. And every entrepreneur makes an offer that flops before they ever land a deal. But what do? We skip rehearsals and demand for the ovation. And when the ovation never comes, well, we quit. That's not how boldness works. Boldness is built in the shadows. So why do we quit? Because silence feels like rejection. Because uncertainty feels like failure. Because we confuse not being seen with not being worthy. But I want you to think about this. When you were a kid, you drew pictures, you told stories, you sang songs without ever asking if it got views. You did it because being human means creating, exploring, moving, sharing. But somewhere along the line, we got trained out of that. We started asking, will this make money? Will this impress them? Will this blow up? And if the answer looks like no, then we stop before we start. We cancel ourselves before the world even gets the chance to. And that's why I'm doing this challenge. Not because every video will matter, but because I need to keep promises to myself. And here's the thing that nobody tells you. The invisible work always comes before the visible result. Every book was once a blank page. Every movement was once a voice in an empty room. And every bold life starts with a series of small and embarrassing steps. And that is exactly where most people turn back. They don't want to be seen in the awkward phase. They don't want to look dumb or unready or amateur. But you know what's actually dumb? Staying invisible forever because you're too afraid to be dumb for a season. Casey Neistat didn't start by filming $1 million productions. He started with scrappy little movies on a broken camera in New York City, doing daily vlogs when no one cared. And because he kept showing up, those messy days became the foundation for millions of people watching him later. Gary Vaynerchuk, same thing. Everyone sees the VFriends, the speeches, the empire that he's built, the media. But they forget he sat in a wine shop basement for years, filming Wine Library TV to an audience of no one. He didn't stop when only 12 people watched. He kept going until the world had no choice but pay attention. And even J.K. Rowling, she wrote Harry Potter in cafes, broke, rejected by 12 publishers before anyone said yes. Imagine if she stopped after the 3rd rejection. The invisible work was the price of the visible breakthrough. And that's where most people turn back. They don't want to be seen in the awkward phase. I don't want to be seen in my awkward face. And the funny thing is I run a production company, and so I really don't want to look dumb or unready or amateur with this type of content. But you know what's actually dumb? Staying invisible forever because you're too afraid to stay small for a season. At this point, I'd rather be messy in public than perfect in hiding, because life doesn't reward the ones who hide. Life rewards the bold. And part of being bold is keeping those promises to yourself. So let's talk about them. Because at the end of the day, that is what this is all about. It's not about going viral. It's not about having everyone clap for you. It's about me sitting here and saying, I said I'd show up, and I showed up. And for you, it's the same. Your power isn't in the applause. It's in your ability to keep promises to yourself. Do you know how rare that is? Most people can keep a promise to their boss, or their partner, or their audience, but the promises they make to themselves, they get broken first. So what if you flip that? What if the most sacred promise in your life became the one that you make to yourself? That's how self-trust is built. That is how boldness is built. Maybe this video will get 10 views, maybe 100, maybe none, but that doesn't matter because I showed up, because I kept my word. I'm not waiting for a spotlight to prove my worth, and neither should you. The bold life doesn't start when you're celebrated. It starts when you're faithful. It starts when you show up, even if no one's watching. Casey did it. Every person you admire did it. And now it's your turn. So I'll see you tomorrow. This is 100 Bold, and remember, to act bold, you need to be kid brave again.